rentals.com.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hard work. It's what drives Nebraska. It defines our strength. Men like you live it every day. But sometimes living up to those expectations can be overwhelming. If you're struggling, call or text 988. You'll get skilled, caring support 24/7. Live up to a different kind of strength. The strength to ask for help. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
It takes hard work to make Nebraska the right place to raise a family, build a business, or grow a community. We're counting on working parents to make it happen, and they're counting on childcare professionals to have their backs. Employers and other contributors can earn up to a $100,000 tax credit for strengthening childcare in our communities and state. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America. Expanding awareness about the TeamMates program and the ever-growing need for mentors. This is TeamMates Timeout with TeamMates CEO Des Moines Adams and Marketing and Communications Manager Ashton Honor.
All right. It is Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash. I want to welcome everyone to 93.7 The Ticket. You got DeMo, you got Ash from 5 to 6 p.m. Hope everyone is being safe out on those roads. If you're stuck in traffic, it's a good thing because you are stuck with us. Ash, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. What do you think about week one?
You know, for those of you that missed our first segment, go to 93.7 on The Ticket, their Facebook page, the Twitter, everything gets recorded. What better way to kick off what we do and who we are by sharing our mission? And what better way to have the daughter of our co-founders, Nancy and Tom Osborne, to share what that mission means, what the word potential. I think it really helps everyone to understand the importance of why we do what we do, which is to provide mentoring to young people.
And how awesome was Suzanne last week? Like, just for talking about obviously being the daughter of our co-founders, Dr. Tom and Nancy Osborne. And, you know, she has been with this organization since its inception back in 1991. And listening to her talk about what we call the ripple effect and how eventually, like, the mentee becomes the mentor, and then getting all your communities involved in kind of that, what we call the ripple effect. It's kind of like a domino effect. And so it was such a privilege to have Suzanne on, hear her perspective, and then how much that aligns with the Teammates organization now, because essentially she has grown with this organization as we are 33 years old now. And so I thought that was awesome. Week one was a success, and I am so excited about week two. Do you want to tell our listeners what our theme is today?
Yes. So, you know, of course, with every mission, there's an incredible vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Suzanne Osborne Hens did an incredible job of setting up our vision, because with the ripple effect,
Right.
our vision is about creating a culture of hope
Yes.
that leads to a positive ripple effect in our communities and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And so that ripple effect is caused by that culture of hope. And hope is the word that I am excited to focus on today. And of course, very excited about our special guest.
Do we tell them now, or do we make them wait?
I don't know. We got to keep people on. Yeah. We don't want anyone changing to another station or whatnot. But who we are, we're about providing hope.
Mm-hmm.
And as Gallup research likes to say, hope is the greatest indicator of success.
Right.
Particularly for our young people.
Right. So before we dive into the word hope, I want to talk about our vision, the Teammates vision, which I'm going to read to you. It's to be the nation's premier school-based mentoring program by creating a culture of hope that leads to a positive ripple effect in our communities and beyond. Again, we go back to the mission where it says positively impact the world. It doesn't just say Nebraska, it doesn't just say the Midwest. And again, we see that in our vision statement as well as being all encompassing the nation.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about that?
You know, at the end of the day, what we're trying to give students is that sense of direction in a positive way.
Right.
We are all hoping for something, but we want to make sure that the hope that we're giving our young people will hopefully, and there's the word hope again,
Yes.
hopefully create this positive ripple effect,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that would give them somewhat of a chance in life versus a consequence. Because I'm a firm believer that choices either give you chances or they give you consequences.
Right.
Because in this game called life, you win or lose
Right.
by how you choose.
Yes. And like we talked about, that potential leads to hope. So again, today's theme, all about hope. Our special guest, you guys are not going to be disappointed. I'm so excited to have one of the coaches that very prominent in this state, to join us this afternoon. So we talked about the vision statement. Potential leads to hope. I want to throw out some stats for you, for our listeners,
based on a recent survey that we do annually with our mentors and our mentees. So, first one I'm going to throw at you. In recent years, 81% of mentees report that they feel more hopeful about their future. And why is that? Because they have that mentor, that trusting adult in their life. And then reversing that, 86% of mentors report that they leave their mentoring time feeling more, here's that word again, feeling more hopeful. So, with those stats, again, very closely aligned. In my eyes, when I see both of those stats and I read those, they both correlate in regards to spending time with each other. Like we are both mentors, we have mentees, and I will tell you, I feel like I get more out of meeting with my mentee than maybe they feel,
Mhm.
than maybe they get. I learn so much every week with my mentee. And again, I would echo that statement that I do leave our weekly hour sessions just like feeling like I'm going to have such a great day. Like I just met with my mentee and they just bring me up. Again, they're like, they're your teammate. And I just feel, again, that word hopeful just keeps coming back. So, what are your thoughts?
It makes me think of who we are as an organization is the complete opposite of what our society is facing today.
Hmm.
There's a lack of hope.
Right.
Just looking at national data, levels of hope and levels of emotional intelligence have decreased since COVID.
Hmm.
But what has increased are levels of anxiety, levels of depression,
Right.
levels of stress, mental health. Um, so it's pretty clear that the positive relationships that we're creating between an adult and a young person is causing a complete different ripple effect that I think the world, beginning with the communities that Teammates is in, and maybe communities that Teammates should be in, should really consider. Teammates mentoring, we are all about helping impact the world
Hmm.
by inspiring students to reach their full potential through mentoring. But also listening to your data, it's not only students that are leaving their relationship and
Right.
their time with hope, it's the mentors as well. So that's the one thing that I would say that I find more fascinating is that data about mentors feeling more hopeful.
And just to remind our listeners who maybe didn't tune in last week, so the Teammates Mentoring Program is currently in 5 states. So Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, and Wyoming. We serve 192 chapters across those 5 states and currently serve roughly 10,000 students. And since the program's inception back in 1991, we have the Teammates Mentoring Program as a whole has served more than 49,000 students. And then again, with talking about that ripple effect, those mentees then become the mentors. And again, all coming back to this one word that is hope.
Hope is powerful. As I mentioned, it's the greatest indicator of not only academic success, but an improved quality of life. And so when we think about life, starting with our young people,
Hmm.
if we truly, starting with Nebraska, this good life state that we live
Yes.
in, if we truly want our young people to live the good life, they need hope. And what better way to give them hope than to have that additional positive caring adult in their life that is committed to them for 30 to 45 minutes once a week
Hmm.
at the school during the school day. Commitment to students, that's one of our core values, right?
All right. And some other core values that we have 5 of them: commitment to students, safety for both the mentee and the mentor, integrity and trust, inclusion, and strengths based. Now, hold on. We're not going to talk about strengths based because stay tuned. That's going to be coming up here in a couple weeks that we want to dive into. But DeMo, tell us what the word hope means to you.
When I think of the word hope, I think of another word. I think of faith.
Faith. Okay.
Because when I think of faith, faith is the substance of things hoped for and
Hmm.
the evidence of things not seen.
Hmm.
So to kind of tie those two together, hope is something very intangible. It's not something that like, hey, here's a piece of candy,
Right.
but it's more transformative.
Hmm.
Like we are transforming people with something. It's like an inside out process.
Right.
Like we're not conforming, we're not fixing people, we're developing people. So the word hope is very transformational, is very developmental, is very relationship driven, and it's 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 good news. Like it's good. Like it's the complete opposite of what we see, read, and hear in society when it comes to news and social media. Hope gets me excited. It's just like as a kid. You remember when you were a kid on Christmas? You know,
Yes.
I hope that I get this, or I hope that I
Right.
get that. You know, hope gets people excited about expecting something,
Mhm.
the next thing.
So I want to talk about how people become a mentor. I think that's very important to continually hammer home. I mean, we have two big calls to action: give the gift of your time in becoming a mentor, or donating. So, if what we're talking about here has inspired you in any way to become a teammate's mentor, again, both DeMo and I are mentors. I have one mentee. Remind the viewers how many you have.
I have two, and I'm getting ready to sign up for a third because I want to get matched up with a third, a fourth, or a fifth grader. Because based on our partnership with the state, there is there's a need for more mentors for those kiddos because of the impact that COVID had on them 3-4 years ago. Their reading levels have been impacted,
Hmm.
and what better way to have a teammate's mentor to increase their level of engagement, attendance, grades, behavior, but hope.
Oh, and I actually have a fifth grade mentee. So we fall right into that category. So I'm so excited at that opportunity. But if you are looking to become a mentor, please go to teammates.org. There is a big button right on that web page that says become a mentor. So it's really simple. All you have to do is fill out the application. Again, just basic questions about yourself. We run a background check, you do training, and this training is a max of what? 2 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours. Super easy. And don't like get worried about like, "Oh gosh, what am I going to do? Like how am I going to interact with this kid?" Like that's what that's what that training is for, to help you as a mentor like figure out fun ways to interact with your student, and then we will match you based on kind of like a questionnaire. You fill out questions. We want and your strengths. We want you to be matched with a student who best fits. Not only do you best fit them, but they also need to complement your strengths, because again, that's going to help create and foster that relationship, which ultimately is going to give that student hope. So again, it's full circle. So again, if you want to become a mentor, go to teammates.org. There is that big button to press. And you know what? Maybe if it's not the right time for you to become a mentor and you're still debating, if you have the resources to donate, we will always appreciate and accept those as well.
Yes, this vision that was started by co-founders Nancy and Tom Osborne would not be sustainable today if it wasn't for those incredible supporters.
Right.
The gift of time, but
Yeah.
also the gift of their gift.
Hmm.
And going back to time, when someone gives their time becomes a gift. And that is why this word hope means so much to this organization,
Hmm.
because time is one of the greatest human resources that humans have.
And tell them one of Coach's phrases that he says all the time about humans are the um do you know which one I'm talking about? I just had it in my train of thought as you were talking about this, and then it left my give the gift of time is one of the points that he always says. And then something in regards to the value of people and how people are uh, we'll come back to that.
Yes, because Coach Osborne, he has
He has so many, I'm starting to
Yeah.
mix them up.
Yes, yes. You know, he needs to come out with a book just with quotes.
Okay, so Coach has some books though.
Yes, he does. And, stay tuned to a store on our teammates.org website that we're going to create where you have access to not only Tom Osborne's books, but one of his books is called Mentoring Matters.
Mm.
And I always like to say mentoring matters because our students matter.
Hmm.
Coach is known for his legacy off the field, but it's what he's doing. I'm sorry, on the field, but what he's doing off the field, it's the impact that he is having on the lives of people. young people, older people, generations, what him and Nancy started,
Mhm.
this vision of hope for the last 33 years. This is his legacy. And it's not just telling his story, but all of the stories that come from this story.
Right.
The story that you will be able to share about your journey with your mentee.
Mhm.
And then your mentee will have a story. My mentee has a story of also being the first to go to college in his family, graduating, and he's pretty much running his own nonprofit.
Oof. Stud.
Yes. Yes. And
Go ahead.
no. So, these things, the data, what we're doing, for those of you that are listening and you cannot see us, you should really get excited. Because we are excited. Why are we excited? Because, when you are a part of a winning team,
Mm.
Like there's so much good that comes from being involved, giving your time, which is a gift, and helping your community uh, to just create that positive ripple effect. And we've been doing it. We have data. There's research. We are around because we're good at what we're doing. And I hate to brag, but to give you a data and everyone else, 95% of our students are proud to be in Teammates. And you want to know what that makes me? It makes me proud to be a part of Teammates when students are proud. But the sad thing about this stat is there are students on a waiting list.
Mm-hmm.
They want a mentor and they can't have that sense of pride because they cannot be matched because no adults are stepping up to give their time. That's the call to action is what I want everyone to hear from what I just said. We want more students to have that same pride that 95% of our students have, but without more mentors, students cannot have that sense of pride. They cannot have that connection. They cannot be a part of a team that gives them hope.
Right. And let's remind the listeners that Teammates is for all kids. It's not what some may think is a stereotype of troubled kids. We have small towns. We've got those athletes. We've got the fine arts students, the band, the music. So it's for everybody. And we want to make sure we provide those opportunities for those students because again, we're going to go back to that word hope, folks.
Yes.
Yeah, we need mentors. We need mentors for these kids because again, we need to provide those opportunities because again, in order to create that ripple effect, they need to have that sense of hope and they need to experience it for themselves first in order for them to continue to send that down the generational line.
And for all of the listeners, whatever community you're in, just think of that positive ripple effect that you can be responsible for creating one student at a time. That's it. 1-to-1, 30 to 45 minutes, once a week at the school during the school day. We are serving over 200 communities because some of the communities, and I'm not from Nebraska, Ashton, we're talking Donovan Trumbull, we're talking Laura Concord Coleridge, we're talking
Bridgeport,
Wilcox Hildreth. And so when we really think about the communities, we are creating a positive ripple effect in over 200 communities across 5 states. But as I always say, we're just getting started.
We are getting started. So let's say a community who doesn't have a Teammates program wants to have a Teammates program and is interested in that. What do they need to do?
Go to teammates.org. And as a matter of fact, if you are in a community, superintendents, stakeholders, you can actually hover over Des Moines Adams and contact me directly.
Ooh.
And I will personally make a trip out to your community because that is how proud we are about spreading this this organization, so more communities can experience this positive ripple effect with the word hope.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we are trying to set up the next generation of leaders, it starts with our young people. So what are we doing with our young people? Well, what Teammates Mentoring is doing, we're providing them with positive role models that give them hope. being a teammate's mentor is not a therapist. We don't train mentors to be a counselor.
Right.
We don't train them to fix a kid. We train them to listen, to show up, to care for them, to play a game, to simply give them hope. Because hope is the greatest indicator of success academically, and it improves one's life.
Say that statement one more time before we head into break here.
Hope is the greatest indicator of one's success, both academically as well as an improved quality of life. And what better way to set up the next segment with our special guest, Coach Ron Brown, who was one of my coaches when I was with the Huskers from 1998 to 2002. I'm pretty sure he has a lot to say about this word called hope, because he has to give hope to the Husker football team day by day, but also he's going to let everyone know how we can all be teammates and give each other hope, one student at a time. Tune in, Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash. Stay tuned.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Empower a child today with the TeamMates mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the TeamMates mentoring program today.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it comes to a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options in warranty, brand, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. October is pork month, so now through October 13th, enjoy fresh pork belly for $2.99 per pound. Fairway's Hickory Smoked Bacon 16-ounce packs for $4.99. Fresh pork sausages for $2.99 per pound, and all-natural pork Boston butt for $1.88 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with light south winds. In the afternoon high around 81. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low around 52. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light south winds again with the high around 87. I'm meteorologist Kyle Kleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket. We are very excited to be joined by Coach Ron Brown. Coach, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Ash. Thanks for having me. God bless you. And Des Moines. Yeah, it's always good to see Des Moines. I've known him for a number of years now. And but it's good to have both of you on board, and love Teammates, Coach Osborne and Nancy, and all that they've done over the years with this. What a special deal.
Now, Coach Brown, give us a little bit of your background and your history, because obviously you've known Coach a very long time.
I have. I've known him since 1987 when he decided, I don't know why he decided to choose me as his wide receiver, tight end coach, but he did. I'm thankful for it. But, you know, my background, and one of the reasons why I resonate with his heart and Teammates is that I was an orphan child myself, a foster kid, ward of the state of New York, eventually taken in as a foster child and then adopted by people in Massachusetts, and lived around a ton of kids who didn't know their biological parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, this whole thing of reaching out, servant leadership, being a mentor, I resonate with. And Coach Osborne always had a saying out on that football field that I think is the epitome of Teammates, his thinking, and what he passed on to the next generation of football players and coaches like myself. Always catch somebody doing something right. He would say, catch somebody doing something right. Now, as coaches, we're always trying to catch people doing something wrong and critiquing and rebuking, and that's part of it, and that's very important. But Coach Osborne also said, catch them doing something right. And I love how he's able to look into the corners of this planet, the places, the highways and the byways and the secret spots where people normally wouldn't look, and then find potential and pour his gut into that compassionately. So he and Nancy have done a great thing, and I'm thankful to have witnessed the origin of that, and then the process that's taken place, and then y'all's leadership in it now.
So, Coach, were you in that room back in 1991 when Coach Osborne asked that football team who would like to volunteer to help mentor 7th and 8th grade boys in Lincoln Public Schools? Were you in that room?
I was in that room. And, you know, the number of young men that wanted to raise their hands, you know, I don't know that they would have raised their hands had just anybody asked. I mean, the program is great. The idea is great. It's fantastic. But it's the integrity of that man that allowed and freed those young boys up to say,
I'm in, coach. I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know a whole lot about this. I'm kind of a goofball myself. I mean, if anybody needs help, it's me. But they trusted that man. They trusted his compassion. And it wasn't that they agreed or liked everything he said, but they trusted him and they loved him. And that's where when there's integrity in the mix, there's a chance, there's a hope, as you all have been talking about, for tremendous things in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So, Coach, being around Coach Osborne, being a part of that 94, 95, 97 national championship, in addition to Big 8 championships, Big 12 championships, what did hope look like from Coach Osborne when it came to the players?
Great question. I define it like this. We were a top 5 team when I got there in 1987. We were in the top 5 in the country, and we would win every regular season game, and we get to the Orange Bowl and get just clobbered by Miami or Florida State or some pretty good team from that part of the country. And people were getting a little bit frustrated with it. People were beginning to say, well, Nebraska can't win the big one and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was irksome to hear it, because we were maximizing our talent and doing things the right way. But something really hit me, and it was the first time that I think I had lost on the road when I was at Nebraska in 1988. The year before, 1987, we played Troy Aikman in UCLA here.
Ooh.
And it was a classic game, number 2 versus number 3 in the nation. We beat them that day and didn't play our best game, but still won the game. The next year, Aikman was a senior and a great player out there in Los Angeles. And we played UCLA at UCLA, and they had a fantastic team. That was one of the best UCLA teams I've ever seen. Well, anyhow, we went out there, and we were down, I think, 28-0 in the first quarter, and they put a whooping on us. And I'll never forget the plane ride coming back home. I mean, guys were in tears. We were a top-ranked team. We were supposed to have a great year, chance for the national championship, and everybody just kind of felt like their hope had died.
Right.
Okay. Coach Osborne did something that he always did, win or lose. And this is the first time I'd seen it, because after a loss, because this is the first time we lost on the road that I had been there. And he went up and down the plane, and he touched every single guy sitting in those seats, player, coach, touched their shoulder, and he had a word of hope for every guy. Wow. Now, he did that after wins, but he did it after a loss. Sometimes coaches, want to hide because they've just come back from a terrible press conference where they got shellacked and they feel embarrassed, and the hat goes over their head, and, you don't want to be bothered. Coach Osborne had his suit and tie on. He got up and he did what he always did. You see, and that's one of the marks of integrity. There's a consistency there. And Coach Osborne was looking forward past even that. And now he wouldn't just come up and say, "Oh, we're pretty good." Well, he said, "No, we've got to get better." He was very honest about it as he tapped his shoulder. Ron, those receivers, they got to block better. I mean, he was blunt about it, but there was a sign of hope. There was an encouragement that I'm not giving up on you. We're coming back on Monday. We'll be back.
Yeah,
and I love that about him. And I think that is another overflow. That's a bloodstream overflow into teammates. That's what teammates is. It is kids. They're coming from all kinds of situations, and they've gone through all kinds of things. And here I am, right here, tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "Look, we got something going here."
Now, Coach, you've been coaching now, not only when I was a Husker, but we're talking over 3 decades, and just being inspired by Coach Osborne and looking at our vision, creating that positive ripple effect. Tell us how you use hope when it comes to being a coach for the Huskers.
Well, again, I come from a background. I thank the Lord that he gave me the family that I had, because I was a throwaway kid, just like my sister was, and so many that I grew up with. We were throwaways. Nobody wanted us. And for people to come in and put their arms around us and let us know, you're our child now. We're changing your last name. Your last name is no longer Price. Your last name now is Brown. That is special, man. You know what? There's something really powerful about that. That somebody would invest in your life when you've been considered a throwaway child that nobody wants. So I had that early on in my life, but I needed a mentor like Coach Osborne to teach me how to get that out of me out onto my players.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn that it wasn't about being liked, because when I first got into coaching, I wanted to be liked. And I thought, man, if the players like you, that's really a good thing for the coach. But oftentimes when the player likes you, he doesn't really love you in the long haul. And the reason I say that is that I had coaches in my life that I liked, but because they were afraid to upset the apple cart and get to the other side of me and get after my potential, they were afraid of me not liking them. So therefore, they never got around to loving me enough to rebuke me, to challenge me, to hold me back, to put an index finger in my face, and to then lead me. They when they didn't do that, they liked me. Yeah, I like that coach. But you know what? That guy never loved me. He never loved me enough to tell me the truth and what I needed to know to maximize my potential. And so it finally started to see that Coach Osborne he wasn't, a guy that was going to just kind of kiss up to you, even though he's a gentle, compassionate man. He told you bluntly the truth. We've got to do this better. You have to do this better. He did it with consideration, gentleness, good timing. He's a class act, but he would, if he had to get to the gutter to get you, he would go to the gutter to get you. And he was more concerned about you understanding his love, where then you now can love him back. And that's when it really all hit for me. The players didn't need to like me, but I wanted them to love me. And the only way that they could love me is that I had to learn how to love them enough to be tough with them when I had to be.
Wow. Ashley and I, we consider ourselves not managers, but coaches to our team. And, this just hearing you just talk about how hope was passed down from coach to you, it's giving me a different just perception of how we need to be with our staff. Ash, how does this make you feel as a manager, as a coach, so to speak, when it comes to the staff? Because our staff, they are responsible for providing 9,600 mentors and 9,600 mentees with hope.
Coach, after that, I'm ready to run through a wall. So I'm kind of jealous you got to play for this man, because that was awesome. Honestly, just taking everything that you just said, it's okay to be, I don't want to say tough guy, tough girl, but that shows your love. You'll know, I'm going to support you at all aspects. So if you're down in the gutter, I'm going to be there and I'm going to pick you up. At the same time, we do have those levels of expectation to live up to. Again, not only as our own personal teams, like the marketing team or the development team, but as the TeamMates organization as a whole. So again, the fact that you are not afraid to, like you said, put that index finger in the face and say, listen, this is how we are going to do things. And I need you to be on this team because we can't do it without you. So again, reiterating to our teammates as a staff, we need you as a part of this team to be successful.
And then, Coach Brown, when I hear you say the word love, I can't help but to think about the consistent love of agape. And Coach Osborne always talks about that unconditional agape love that mentors have for our young students. Can you speak more of just this unconditional love that young people need today?
The Bible says this in 1 John chapter 4, verse 18, perfect love cast out fear, because fear has torment. That's a powerful statement, because there are many, many, many people living in fear. And the perfect love of Jesus Christ kicks it out the door. And then the next verse says, we love him because he first loved us. So when you listen, I can't talk about Coach Osborne without honestly saying, and not being politically correct and all that kind of stuff, honestly saying, this man loves the Lord Jesus Christ. It flowed. His love for people flows out of his relationship with the Lord. And I saw that. And it's hard sometimes to love people who you don't like, or who have hurt you, or it's hard to put away revenge. But I saw this man continually respond to people who didn't necessarily always treat him right, because there was a greater love in his life that freed him up to say, I'm going to continually press toward this person. And I think people that just keep knocking on doors and, banging away, and you know what? They come up with something. And that's where I think when you live like that, the friction begins to turn into traction. It starts hard and it's grindy and it's tough. And when you're starting a program like this, or you're trying to get people on board and people are just wanting to give up hope, as you say, and you learn that the friction turns into traction. When you're driving on the icy roads in Nebraska in the wintertime, what creates your traction? Somebody comes along with a snow shovel, or those snow plows come in and they start digging and chewing that ice. That's friction. Well, that's where you get your traction. And it's through the friction of the difficulties in life, with broken homes, poverty, and kids not getting an opportunity because of neglect, and so all kinds of things that could go wrong. It's there where you begin to take that friction and then turn it into traction when you're a hope-filled person. And that's why I credit Coach Osborne for taking his faith to the street.
This is reaffirming because, as we serve all students, anyone who is third grade through post-secondary, they don't necessarily need a mentor. They deserve a mentor. And we train our mentors to be unconditional. We train them to simply show up and look for the good, not for the bad. And it's that good. Look for what's right about them, as you mentioned. And that is why the ripple effect that we are creating in so many communities and beyond, that is why we are continuing to be a winning team. Coach Brown, don't go anywhere. Those that are listening, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Hard work. It's what drives Nebraska. It defines our strength. Men like you live it every day. But sometimes living up to those expectations can be overwhelming. If you're struggling, call or text 988. You'll get skilled, caring support 24/7. Live up to a different kind of strength. The strength to ask for help. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with light south winds. See the afternoon high around 81. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with the low around 52. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light south winds again with the high around 87. I'm meteorologist Kyle Kleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket. Coach Brown is here with us. Thank you for not leaving. We still have some more we want to talk about to wrap out the show. Coach, one word. For those of you just joining us, our theme today is hope. And Coach, what does the word hope mean to you?
DeMo, I know, had mentioned faith, and I agree with that. Faith is the evidence of things unseen, the conviction or the substance of things hoped for. I see hope as a waiting for, looking forward to, I can count on confidently deposit. It's a deposit. So in other words, you deposit something in the bank today, but I'm counting on the promise of that building and growing when I come back to it. Wow. So hope is really I think it's a noun. It's not like, I'm going to make a wish, blow up my candle here, make a wish, I'm going to break a chicken bone, and wish for something, I don't, that's not the hope that I'm talking about, or I think you all are talking about. I think you're talking about something that is a substance. And so, and something that you can count on, something that you know. Yeah. And when you have that kind of conviction or something that you've been convinced of or persuaded of, and you've seen the reality of that, and you know that there's more, there's a deposit down there that's growing incredible interest, and I'm going to get it at some point, that I think that's hope. And that keeps people looking forward to more. Yeah. That's
So Coach, being a former player and seeing what I'm doing on Coach Osborne's other team, Teammates mentoring, and looking at our vision and seeing that everything that you said about hope, our vision is we are creating a culture of hope that leads to a positive ripple effect in our communities and beyond. Why don't you tell everyone how that makes you feel to have one of your former players to be a part of an organization that has this kind of vision?
Well, just hearing some of your story from the days in Arkansas and you coming here, knowing that you had a level of introversion yourself and wondered and maybe trust issues and all kinds of things, had to kind of be worked out to be able to see the kind of man that you've become, the giver, the follower of the Lord, and the integrity that you have. Absolutely, that's hopeful. I mean, that is, especially when, and I want to say this in all due respect, because I've been coaching for many years and I've coached many, many kids now. I mean, probably in the thousands. And it's not always like that. This is not a guarantee just because a kid plays college football or just because you coached a kid or just because, they were in this system and they got an education that they're all going to just turn out and everybody's just going to be regimented. No, people make decisions along the way. And so how you've turned out and your leadership and your desire to now do the same thing that was done to you, that's a very special thing. And that's what we're called to do. It's about reproduction, man.
Yeah.
It's about and that's what's happened.
And what we're trying to do, Coach, is we're trying to keep this going by always giving that call to action. We need more mentors so that more positive adults can provide that hope to young people. And we have mentors that are listening out there today, but we also have a lot of adults that can definitely step in and step up and be a part of this winning team. What would you say to someone that is on the fence? But when we talk about this word called hope and how they can use their role to be a positive role model, what words of inspiration, motivation, can you give the listeners to go to our teammates.org website and become a mentor, particularly not just with this vision, but co-founder Tom Osborne, what he means to you and how he has put himself into this work? What would you say to the listeners out there to inspire them to join this team and be a mentor?
Let me say this maybe in the way that I would need to talk to myself about it, or I would expect a mentor to talk to me about it. I think it starts with a correction. It starts with an interception. It starts when the play is going one way and all of a sudden now the ball is intercepted and now everything's reversed. I think one of the major problems, Ashton and Des Moines, one of the major problems for all of us who hesitate to be mentors and hesitate to pour into somebody else's life is that we are guilty of self-absorption. We are so self-oriented. I don't think my kids' my two daughters, I don't think their first words were, Mama, Dada. I think it was, mine. Hey. I think that's what their first words were. And I think that's true of all of us. We have that kind of a nature that says, what about me? What about me? And so we get so self-absorbed when it's the perfect release of being able to open and see there's somebody else in my same situation. How now can I get my mind off myself and use the energy, not on, what about me? I got a raw deal here, but rather pouring hope into somebody else. Why don't we transfer that energy? If somebody hit you on the football field, Des Moines, we wouldn't say, go hit them back, because you're wasting your energy. You remember that. Next play, I'm coming out next play, and in a legal way, I've unleashed even more energy. I have more energy than I ever had. That's why the friction, when it turns into traction, is so powerful. Mm-hmm. But the problem is we engulf it up, and and then before you know it, it's like, I'm not helping anybody else. Somebody's got to help me. That's what I think is the biggest problem. See, the fact that we have problems isn't why we're not helping people. You're equipped now to help somebody when you have problems. Now you're the perfect candidate. But the problem is Ron Brown thinks about himself and he expects somebody to come and take care of me when I have the capacity to help take care of somebody else. And that is the solver of the problem. It's when I'm helping somebody else when I realize now, you know what? My problem just got solved, man. It ain't about me. I'm going to take what I learned from my situation and pour it out onto this young man or young woman. And now we're going places. Yeah. I think that's what's missing, in my opinion.
And before I let Ash close, going back to your stat at the beginning, 86% of mentors feel more hopeful after their time with their mentee. We talked about hope today. We need more mentors. And when you become a mentor, you also become more hopeful and create that hope effect, that ripple effect to young people. Ash?
Coach Brown, thank you so much for joining us today. We greatly appreciate your time. It is a bye week, so we hope you get to enjoy your week a little bit here. Good luck to those Husker volleyball team, #1, as they take on Purdue and Rutgers. And again, as always, go to teammates.org to learn how you can become a mentor or to donate. We'll see you back here next week on 93.7 The Ticket for Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Empower a child today with the TeamMates mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the TeamMates mentoring program today.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. October is pork month, so now through October 13th, enjoy fresh pork belly for $2.99 per pound. Fairway's hickory smoked bacon 16-ounce packs for $4.99. Fresh pork sausages for $2.99 per pound, and all-natural pork Boston butt for $1.88 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost